Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Before we do get started with today's video, if you guys wouldn't mind liking and subscribing to help me reach my goal of 1,000 subscribers before 2025, that would be amazing. In today's video, I'll kind of have you guys get to know me and list off some stuff that I like, hobbies, sports, music, movies, and kind of just basic stuff like that. I do have my dog here, Bentley. He's laying on the ground. I'll show you guys him in a second. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy. He's a good dog. So starting off with music, because I feel like music is a big part of my life. If you couldn't tell by all the posters behind me, my favorite artist, I would say, not in order, are Radiohead, Mac DeMarco, Leve, or some people also pronounce it like Luffy or Luffy. But before you come at me, on her TikTok profile, it does say Leve. And also I watched one of her interviews and it did say a lot, and she said it herself that it's pronounced Leve. And then I also really like Tame Impala. He's really good. I really like Tame Impala. And then Wasia Project. I'm so big on Wasia Project. If you don't know that band, I would definitely recommend going to search them up. They're really good. They're a smaller band, I would say. They have a decent amount of following, but not in the millions. But in my opinion, they're still a really good band. So if you are looking for kind of an alternative band, I would go for them. And then I also really enjoy Frank Ocean and Cigarettes After Sex. I do really like both of them. I would say I don't listen to Cigarettes After Sex that much, but I definitely do listen to them quite a bit. Same for TV Girl. Next, some of my favorite movies. I really like Wes Anderson, so I would say Fantastic Mr. Fox, The Grand Budapest Hotel, I think that's the name of it. And then I also really love Perks of Being a Wallflower, which is also one of my favorite books, which we'll get into later. And then I also really enjoyed some horror movies, but that aren't too scary, like Watchers. In my opinion, Watchers is a really good movie. If you haven't seen that, it's not scary. I would say it's definitely eerie, but it's really good. And it's definitely an entertaining movie too. I don't get bored watching it. I've watched it so many times. And then also a classic is I love the live action Scooby-Doo movies. I don't know why, I just love them so much. And Downtown Girl, I would say I really like those. The little girl from Downtown Girl is the main girl in Watchers, which is also pretty interesting. A few of my other favorite movies are also Coraline. I do have the Kitty Squid from that movie right up there. And then I also really like Big Eyes. It's by Tim Burton. It is a true story. It's really interesting, and the architecture and the just whole way the movie was shot was really beautiful. So I really do like that movie too. Kind of following the movies topic, some of my absolute favorite TV shows would have to be A Series of Unfortunate Events. That one's just always really good to watch. And then I actually discovered the show because it's the only show that works on my TV for some reason. My TV broke. But Desperate Housewives, I find that show awesome for some reason. It's so interesting. All the murders and the mysteries in it is really entertaining to watch. And also The Middle. I feel like that's a really good show too. I haven't watched that one as much, but Schitt's Creek is also one of my favorite TV shows. Kind of following that topic, a few of my favorite books would have to be Radio Silence by Alice Oseman, and then I just recently got the Perks of Being a Wallflower book, and it was so amazing. I read it in 2 days and I could not put it down. I also really enjoy Yellowbird Sings. I'm not 100% sure who wrote it, but it is a really good book. It is based in Nazi Germany, so if you are sensitive about that stuff, I would not recommend reading it. But if you're not if it doesn't affect you, I would definitely read it. It is a sad book, but it's really good, and the way it's written is just perfect in my opinion. Another few of my favorite books would have to be The Alchemist. That one's really good. And also, I think it's kind of popular, but they both die at the end. If you couldn't tell by the title, it is a sad book, but it is really interesting. And it also kind of helps your perspective of the world, because you kind of get to see how you spend your life, and then how these people choose to spend their final days once they do know that it is their final day. Overall, I think all those books are really great in my opinion, and so let's move on. Okay, now kind of getting into like smaller stuff that not a lot of people would really know. Some of my all-time favorite cartoon characters would have to be Scooby-Doo from Scooby-Doo, Shaggy from Scooby-Doo, Snoopy and Woodstock from the Peanuts, and then I also really like Charlie Brown. Some other few ones would be also Tom from Tom and Jerry, and then I know this last one isn't really a cartoon, but I do really enjoy it. Stitch from Lilo and Stitch. That's also an amazing movie. Next up are some of the sports that I do. So my main sport is tennis. I'm not the best at it, but I did make varsity, so that's a good thing. And then I also do competitive rock climbing, and then I do like ice climbing with the pickaxes for fun every once in a while. I also do shot put and discus, and I run track. If you don't know what shot put and discus is, shot put, you have a 12-pound metal ball. It's not really a sport, but you kind of spin in a ring and you like launch it. And then discus, you have like I think it's like 5 pounds. It's a disc and you can kind of spin and you launch it, shocker. And then obviously you guys know what running is. But yeah, I really do enjoy those. I know my main sport is tennis, but I think rock climbing is my favorite. And then when I grow up, I really either want to be a content creator or an architect. I absolutely love architecture. I've been into architecture since I was 9. That's when I first started making house models. I would have to do it with my dad because my dad was an architect for a little bit until he switched over to being a pilot. He's always kind of been like an architect, just not like an official one. He went to school for it just because he needed a degree. He went for architecture and sports medicine, but he keeps his pilot's license and is a pilot. If I did get to pick any certain style to study for architecture, I would choose mid-century modern kind of. And I also really like John Lautner, his style, because he didn't really like cubes and squares. So all his homes are just gorgeous because they're all pointy and like triangular, and I just really enjoy that, especially the Goldstein residence. I really like that. If you don't know what that is, I would definitely go search it up. The Goldstein residence by John Lautner. The local project has a video on it. Some other things is my favorite YouTube channels are, I would say, Benji Plant, Eric Wang, and the local project. You can never go wrong with the local project. It is so amazing. I definitely do think that the local project and Eric Wang should collab, because that would be an amazing collaboration in my opinion. My favorite colors, I would say, is like a darker brown, especially this one. It's kind of like a grayish brown, and I really like that color. I feel like also having a concrete home, even though it sounds really depressing, I feel like if you did that with like a chrome metal kitchen, I feel like that would be so beautiful. That is my current project that I am working on in a video game called Bloxburg. Welcome to Bloxburg, to be specific. It is a very popular game, so I bet a lot of people know about it, but I've been playing that game for around 6 years, and I play it every day. It's so fun to just build in that game, in my opinion. My favorite subject in school would have to be digital video production, but I get that that isn't a main subject, so if I did have to pick like one of the main 4, like math, science, English, and history, I would definitely say English and math. I'm currently like obsessed with my current English class. I'm trying to get into AP Lang next year, but they don't allow sophomores to take it without like a teacher's note, and my teacher is kind of strict and she hasn't signed off for anyone, but I'm hoping towards the end of the year I can get a recommendation. Some of my favorite activities to do that are not like sports, I would say, are painting, creating videos, obviously, and I also really enjoy reading, as you guys kind of heard previously, and I also really enjoy playing with my dog and going on hikes. I just like being outside in general. I feel like that's really fun, and I feel like the best part about like being outside, especially in the summer, is like swimming in like the lakes Where I live, we have a lot of mountains. I live in like a valley and it's all mountains. I live in a tiny mountain town. It's horrible. So please don't glamorize it because this town is so boring. There's nothing to do. Every day this summer last summer, I spent at a lake, which I'm not mad about because I really do like the lake. And I am really excited for this summer because most of my friends are older, so they all get their license. Most of them already have it, but a few more with their license would be nice because then more rides for me. My favorite drink, I would have to say, is Red Bull. I don't know why. It's just, I like it for the taste, not like the actual energy. A lot of people say that it doesn't really help them. It doesn't help me stay awake unless I'm trying to fall asleep, but I just kind of drink it for the taste. It genuinely does taste good to me, but I do not like all the caffeine in it. So if anyone knows any alternatives that do taste like Red Bull, any flavors, please let me know. That would be amazing. If you guys were wondering, I do collect posters, obviously, and these little trinkets called Smiskies. They're these little green figurines, kind of. I actually found them through Eric Wang, so thank you for that. If you are watching this, doubt you are, but hey, you never know. I keep all mine right there. And then I also really enjoy, and I also do like to collect posters and like Lego sets for my room. I do not have a bunch of them right now, but I have like some car Lego sets and then a Paris Lego set, and I feel like they kind of help with my room a little bit. Some of my favorite songs at the moment would be No Other Heart by Mac DeMarco, No One Knows by Leve and I think Christopher or Steven something, or it might be Cesar Chavez. I think that's it. I could be completely wrong though. I do like Super Scar by Adele, Slow Down by Radiohead, Lucky by Radiohead, and Let Down by Radiohead. I also do really like Leve's song Haunted, and those are just a few of them. Lastly, before I wrap up this video, a few places that I really want to visit before I'm older with my parents' money, because I don't want to have to spend that money when I'm older. I'm just kidding. But I do really want to go to Austria and Toulouse, France, which I am going there this summer, so that will be very exciting, and expect lots of videos there. I'm very sorry I did not make a lot of videos in Mexico, but most of the time we were laying by the beach or at the pool, which is not that interesting. But yeah, I also really want to go to Germany and Sweden. I also really want to visit Norway in the summertime. But yeah, that is all for today's video. If you guys have any more questions for me, please don't be scared and leave them down below in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching to the end, and I really hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you can be notified whenever I upload a new video. Bye everyone.